Trend Seekers. Today is Sunday, and by that means it is another day for our series of Chance Talk featuring Entrepreneurs New Normal. For those who are new here, this series is made to get in touch with entrepreneurs and business professionals to ask for the knowledge, tips, and advice based on their business ventures and experiences. In this episode, we invited another brand who offers digital services. And to answer your curiosity, let us have a talk with Mr. Jeffrey Reyes. Hi, sir. Good morning there.
Hello. Good afternoon, Sir.
Yeah. Thank you so much for allowing us to squeeze in into your busy schedule, sir.
Yep. Thank you. Thank you so much. And thank you, Chance, for the chance to be featured in your Chance Talk. And it's
Mhm.
a really good uh, opportunity for us, like small tech startups, to be featured in a platform like this to give us more exposure for free.
Yes, yes. Sir, can I ask what is the business all about?
So yeah, Twala is a tech startup. We are a software development company. We are um, an e-signature platform. So we are a legal tech startup. We are focused on modernizing how the way we do business. So Twala is a next generation e-signature platform because we are uh, one of the few companies in the world that uses blockchain technology to
Mhm.
secure uh, digital documents and digital contracts and documents. No. So uh, our vision is to um, help the Philippines shift to the new normal
Mhm.
uh, and help uh, progress our economy into a digital economy by providing a platform where signers can, people can sign, verify, and store digital contracts and document securely and legally in the Philippines.
You are you are using Ethereum blockchain, sir.
Yes, our platform is built on blockchain, so
Mhm.
it is powered by smart contracts in
Uh-huh.
Ethereum blockchain.
Can you please give us a knowledge about blockchain so that our viewers will know what is it, how did it start, and everything about it?
Yeah, so blockchain technology in a nutshell is
Mhm.
like a spreadsheet in the cloud, a series of
Mhm.
spreadsheet in the cloud. So before the technologies about a centralized technology. So for example, you have Facebook, you have Google. Uh, our data is stored in just one central databases. So the control of that data is uh, within that particular technology provider. So think of blockchain as many databases in the cloud, and uh, nobody owns it. Well, somebody owns it, but
So,
it's decentralized
yeah.
uh, type of databases. And
Mhm.
in the normal databases, you can add, you can edit, you can delete.
Mhm.
But blockchain is different. You can only add and read, so you cannot delete. So that makes it more secure, more transparent, and more auditable. No, perfect for many transaction that needs more transparency. No? So they call that property as immutability. So databases that has immutability is perfect for the financial industry. So it's the same technology that powers cryptocurrency.
Mhm.
So you see Bitcoin, you see Ethereum, um, and it's being used by the banking sector. So if you follow the Philippine laws, no, we have several laws that are now talking about blockchain. And
Mhm.
even the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas and the Securities and Exchange Commission, they just recently released a framework about currency exchanges, and that is powered by blockchain. So blockchain, we think that if it's secured and uh, powerful enough to for financial sector, for the banking industry, then it should be secure and powerful enough to secure documents and contracts, no, digital contracts. And since blockchain technology is a cryptographic technology, no, meaning the use of public key and private keys to encrypt and decrypt data. So it means it is compliant with the uh, e-commerce act when it comes to e-signature and the rules on electronic evidence of the Supreme Court when it comes to both electronic and digital signature. So people are interchangeably using electronic and digital signature, but they are different. So electronic signature is the visual representation of your signature. The digital signature is different. It's a piece of code, no, that will make sure that your electronic documents or your electronic signature is not altered and is directly traceable to an individual. Kasi, di ba, if your electronic signature is just an image of your signature, it can be forged. No, I can have an image of your signature in maybe in some documents. I can scan it and I can trace it using Photoshop. And who would have known if it's you or someone else's signature? We don't want a setup where our signatures are forged, no? Because it's really crucial in establishing online business that you have like you can trust the transaction, you can trust the system. That's why Twala is built on that, on the premise that yes, you can trust the documents you are signing. So Twala is a play of the word Tiwala. So we are a digital trust company, no, a digital trust service provider for the Philippines. So yeah, that's Twala and blockchain in a nutshell.
Sir, there are so many business types around, but why did you choose this kind of business?
Well, good question. This is my field. No, I am an IT professional. I've been working with software projects for the past more than 10 years. No? And yeah, and I think I know how software should work, and probably I kind of know the business around it as well. And personally, I saw the need in the Philippines, no, because of my exposure with the Western countries, working for advanced economies. I have worked for a Singaporean company before, a US company, and a European company, no, before I ventured into Twala. And uh, there I experienced like signing documents digitally, and the hassle is like uh, not there. No? Unlike in the Philippines, um, even just for signing a very low risk document, no? For example, a bank, not really a low risk, but a document stating that you are requesting for some documents, you still have to go to the banks, no? And you have to drive through the traffic. You have to spend a lot of time uh, going there just to sign a piece of document that can be done online. So I started asking around my friends, no, from the legal community, why is that so? There are a lot of existing e-signature platform around the world, and why are we not using it? Why are we not doing it like them? And I learned that there's an e-commerce act, and it's been 20 years since its enactment, no? And we never went digital. And why is that so? And the very first thing that they told me is about legality concerns, because the law itself is very technical. So imagine a law 20 years ago was talking about public key cryptography. No? the use of public key and private key and encrypting and decrypting data. And during those times, lawyers are not really that tech savvy, you know. And even if you want to like digitize everything, the internet is slow and it's expensive. We don't have smartphones back then, no? So it's really expensive to do those kinds of digital transformation. And good thing in the past 5 years, the existence of cloud computing, so that now it's very easy and it's cheaper to put up systems like this, and the internet is getting faster. Relatively on the Philippines now, not as fast as our neighboring countries, but it's way better than before. So yeah, and I think it's about time to digitize. And good thing blockchain came along, and it I think we think that it is enough and it satisfied the requirements of the law, the E-commerce Act, the rules on electronic evidence, and of course the security and the auditability that every business or every individual wants for their uh, electronic and digital documents.
Sir, having this kind of business is so uncommon right now. How do you get your clients to be in your brand or to purchase your services?
Well, that's a good question. It's really tough for like a Filipino tech companies because it's not common in the Philippine settings. Like
Yeah.
most of the software that we use are made abroad. No,
Mhm.
it's a mix of networking. So for a tech startup, it's not an easy task to get customers, a paying customer even so. So we never advertise yet, but since we were joining like pitching competitions, we were
Mhm.
exposed to some companies who are willing and actively seeking for solutions like what we have, precisely because of the pandemic. No? So they really have to adapt on the new normal, what they call. Ba? So they're looking for solutions in the Philippines with local support that can handle their transactions, their documents. And surprisingly, most of them are from the regulated sector. So before we're thinking of going for the small and medium businesses, you know, or even very small businesses, because we believe that they're easier to get because like bigger guys, they have more stringent requirements, and they will probably not trust a company that's just like 3 months old. So something like that. But to our surprise, most of the companies that reached out to us, when I say reached out, we never asked them, you know, never advertise. So they just saw us in like a competition in a webinar, you know. And those are banks, insurance companies, loan companies, real estate companies, those companies that are handling high risk and high value documents, because the security feature of blockchain, it uh, it attracted them because these companies are not new to blockchain technology. You know, it's a darling of the financial industry, and when they heard that we're using that, then they felt that yeah, we could use that. And um, well, they have questions about legality, so we really have to convince them that we are legal, even if the technology is really new. But then the law uh, provided like an opening for blockchain, since the law requires a public key cryptography, and blockchain is public key cryptography. It's a different implementation of public key cryptography. So that makes it legal in the Philippine setting, not just in the Philippines, but in many other jurisdictions around the world, like in Europe. It's kind of the same setup with the Philippines in recognizing the equivalence uh, of wet or written signature to digital signature.
Sir, how long are you in this business? Or how long did
Well,
the Twala go?
we started the company like a year ago, like August 2019. There's no pandemic yet.
Yeah.
So we started the uh, prototype, started developing the app. It took us a lot of, uh, um, what we call that, iteration in order for us to come up with the right way to process it. It's somehow a trial and error thing. The good thing is two of my tech co-founders, they're really good with technology. Like um, we use a mix of web, mobile, cloud technologies, and the security behind it is not really that simple. So we really have to play around with all those tech things, and it's not just one technology; it's a mix of many technologies. Now, so it took us at least a year to come up with what we call a minimum viable product that we can launch to the market and test, like the interest of the market.
For more than a year in business, sir, what are the lessons that you have learned in this time or in this kind of business?
Well, first, the Philippines is not really ready yet for this kind of
Yeah.
venture. So there's an existing like tech community startups, but it's really hard to penetrate that community, the community of startups and investors as well. No, you really have to work uh, because you really have to prove yourself to these investors in order for you to get a sizable amount of funding to fund your operations. And um, also, when it comes to customer acquisition and trying to validate your idea, it's not really easy as well. No, so we have done a lot of assumption. One thing, a good thing that we realized and we learned is that there are now organizations, individuals and organizations existing to help tech startups. So there's the uh, Kubo. I believe Chance is like part of that community. So they are really good and they are really helpful. Um, we also had a good relationship with other tech startup founders. So through Kubo, we met a lot of them. So we met a lot of investors as well, um, both local and foreign investors. And yeah, and that led us to like having our first outside funding. No, so we were able to convince an investor to invest to us. And
Mhm.
actually, a lot of investors, they're interested in investing with Twala. But then the first investor that we were able to convince, like the amount of his investment is kind of enough for us to at least go for the next level of the business. There's a lot of opportunities for tech startup in the Philippines because, as I said, we are an emerging economy. We're not used to software yet, so the market is really big. The middle class market in the Philippines is five, 4 to 5 times bigger than Singapore. We really don't have a unicorn in the Philippines, so that's sad and exciting at the same time because that means there's still a lot of opportunities for Filipinos to become like a global companies. Not just in the Philippines but in the whole ASEAN region.